Welcome to Option Trades Today. I'm Tony the Baptiste, and I have a trade idea for you today. January 4th, 2024. And if you have not already, put in your picks for Q1, 2, 3, and 4 at tastytrade.com/guess. Win free money, $1,000 a quarter for the winner, $2,000 for the fourth quarter winner. Read all the fine print, but go to tastytrade.com/guess. Completely free. Win some of Tom's money. But right now, let's take a look at what the market's doing and see if we can find some money there. Even the S&P's up solid, making new highs. $18 new highs for the day at 47.66. We are just under that right now. NASDAQ up 35 and change. The Russell's actually the leader of the group on a percentage basis by almost 2-1, up $9. And the Dow is up 257. This is as high as the market has been for most of the day so far this morning. Volatility, you heard me talk about it this morning, down about 15 to 20 cents earlier. Now down near its lows, down around 32 cents. We talked a little bit on the show how volatility was staying depressed or very heavy, maybe leading a little bit of market movement to the upside. And so far, we have had that. Now, what am I going to look for a trade today? Well, you know me, I like to go to the high option volume list, but you can go to any list that you like to. I'm going to put in Roku here because I've already looked for you. Roku up around $2.40. I put this trade on when the stock was only up around $1.80 or $1.70 or so. So you might be able to put this trade on better than what I put it on for. But let's take a look at some of the metrics or numbers that I like to look at. The IVX 5-day change up 1%. We like to see that higher when we're putting on a trade because we expect volatility to contract. IV rank of 26, better, good, not great. The thing that we're looking at here, earnings conveniently located February 21st, which is just after expiration. And here's the trade I'm looking to put on. I'm looking to put on a Strangle. I have it set up here for you. I put on at $5.59. Before we go into those numbers, I do want to remind you that if you come over here and go to the follow page, even before you see this Option Trades Today podcast, if you click on Bob the Trader or just look at the top trade, you'll see that I placed this trade not too long ago when the stock was trading at 88.12. The stock is 89.09 right now, and I did it for $5.59. Now, you will get the trade ahead of this podcast because you're already on the Tasty Trade platform, and I submit those trades as soon as I put them on, but you won't get the background to it. But you can see here that it's a Strangle at the 25 short strikes, 25 delta short strikes. Let's take a look at that and go right to that right now. I'm going to click on the trade page. I'm going to close this up for you. I'm going to go to February closest to 45 days. We like to put on trades closest to 45 days in the monthly options. That's so if we were a little bit closer on one of these weekly options, I would still default to the monthly options. You can see here that little purple line is showing you where earnings are February 21st. You can see that in February, expiration is February 16th. So these earnings will not affect these February 16th options, at least not as much as it would if it were in the following months after the earnings. Well, let's take a quick look on the chart of what Roku has done so far. You can see here it's fallen off since the early December. It's certainly way higher than where it was in late October. Let's just call it mid-range for the last 45 days. That's what I like to look at because I'm going to be in this strategy or hopefully be out of this strategy within 2 weeks to 3 weeks under that 45-day time frame. I said around the 25 delta. Well, when I put on this trade, the 75 puts had around a 21 delta. That's my short strike there. And I went up to the 105 calls, which had around a 25 delta. You can see here that it has 8 short deltas. When I placed the trade, it had around 5.5 or 6 short deltas. We like to roll up the untested side when our delta, which is plus or minus, in this case it does look to be negative delta, so slightly short position in Roku. I was really looking at the amount of credit I was receiving on both sides. I like to receive around the same amount of credit on both sides, so I'll skew it a little bit, and just to get that credit. I mean, I could certainly go up to the 110 if you're less bearish than I am on Roku, or maybe more neutral in Roku. If you certainly wanted to go a little bit higher and give yourself positive delta, you certainly could do that too. You can see how the credits change. It's all the same. It all depends on what you want to do. I'm going to stick with the 105.75. 75 strike is about $14 away from the stock. You can see here that the call is around $15. There's really no skew here on my strikes, but you'll notice I'm collecting more on the call than I am on the put, even though the call is a little bit further away, and you're collecting around 60, 65 cents more on the call, showing you that there's a little bit of call skew. So a call ratio spread might be something else that you like to put on if you're a little bit more omnidirectional than I am here in the trade, maybe omnidirectional to short if you're looking at a call ratio spread. I was going to start to talk about what I will do with this trade if it starts going against me, because that's the biggest question that I get when I look at on the YouTube page for the questions that people ask me. I like to do something when the delta gets to plus or minus 15. So when this gets to plus or minus 15, let's assume that Roku continues going higher. I will move up the 75 put to the 80 put. You can see here that it brings in around 9 deltas. Let's assume that difference will remain around the same. So if I had 15 deltas and I roll up by 1 strike, I will bring in about 9 deltas. I'll go back to 6 short deltas, which is approximately what I'm having when I put on this trade. I did this trade for $5.59, so my max profit is going to be that $5.59. I should move this for you, I'm sorry. Will be $5.59. My buying power effect, $890 on this trade. Relatively small amount of buying power that we're using for the trade. You saw the last trade I did in gold, I think used around $3,000 in buying power. The probability of profit, right at that standard deviation, 67%. That's right in my wheelhouse. And I get paid $14 a day in theta decay on this slightly short, let's just call it neutral trade in Roku. If we go back for a moment to the follow page, you'll notice that I've placed some trades. I've closed some trades. Gold, that trade that we just did on 12/28, took a nice 90-cent profit in gold in just a couple of days. Run like a thief in the night there. Costco was another trade that we had on. Quick dollar profit we had from 12/21. I don't want to highlight just my winning trades, but they are just in order. But you'll see here in bonds have been giving me a little bit of a fit. I have gotten twisted in the wind on the way down. I got twisted in the wind on the way up. We're keeping the dream alive. Here I am buying the guts and selling the wings. I'm looking to place a new trade. My new strikes are 121, 126 in the 50-day options, and you can see here I did it for 302. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want this trade before you watch this podcast, please transfer an account to Tasty Trade, the best trading platform in the galaxy. Take advantage of some of the great perks that they have, too. They're giving away cash, not just to guess the market. Anybody can do that I highlighted a moment ago, tastytrade.com/guess. You do have those guesses in by Friday night at midnight. But you can open up an account at Tasty Trade anytime you want. I think they're giving away a couple of $1,000 depending on how much your account size is. So please move your account to Tasty Trade. Don't make me beg. Help us keep the lights on here.